Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Now I'm sure you've all heard about SikhNet. It's the largest Sikh website in the world. They have like millions of followers. But what you may not know is that it is owned and operated by a tantric yoga cult. I was a member of that cult for 30 years, this Yogi Bhajan tantric yoga cult. And I'm well aware about the hidden agendas and their anti-Gurmukh practices that are being performed and practiced there by SikhNet and these Yogi Bhajan followers. Now today in this video, I want to point out specifically how these Yogi Bhajan people are dancing and performing this tantric yoga in the actual Darbar of the city Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You'll see here how just after their 3 days of this Yogi Bhajan tantric yoga, they are just performing like wild animals and going on with their tantric yoga and dancing to this Bhangra. Now I want to point out why I say that this is in the Darbar of the city Guru Granth Sahib. I attended this tantric yoga solstice sadhana at least 25 times over the 30 years that I was in the Yogi Bhajan cult. And I'm well aware that right at this time, when they do this wild dancing and acting like animals, the city Guru Granth Sahib Ji is in Prakash in this room right here, where I have the cursor in the top part of this picture here, this video. And there's a garage door there that is opened when they want to perform a Diwan service. And so in this same area, they have their Diwan and Gurdwara services right where they're doing all this Bhangra, and they also do the Tantric Yoga in the same area. So you can see here the door that goes into the Akam pot. You can see somebody actually coming out from the Akam pot right here. And I will point out that the noise is so loud from this Bhangra when they are practicing their anti-Gurmukh practices out there that you cannot hear the Gurbani inside where people are trying to read and concentrate on the Gurbani. It is just completely obnoxious and completely beadbi of Sri Guru Granth Sahib to be doing this. I will also say that Yogi Bhajan had us dancing in the 1990s to Guru Gobind Singh Ji's sacred banis as well. And this is also beadbi. So again, as I said, in this area right here, Sri Guru Granth Sahib is in Prakash. Let there be no doubt about it. And you can see people going in there for the Akam pot. You have to wonder how this crazy tantric yoga is affecting these people after doing this 3 days of tantric yoga. Dr. Chalochan Singh talked about how it's just leading these 3HO people and these SikhNet people into complete debauchery. That this has to stop. It's completely destroying their spiritual and physical beings. Now you can see here what I'm talking about, how when they have a Divan service, Gurdwara, they open this garage door just as they're doing here now. That's that same area there. Sikhs do not lock up their Guru into a room and then do this Bhangra and all this crazy wild tantric yoga and dance when Guru Sahib Ji is in Prakash there. They don't do it anyway, but you certainly don't do it in complete beadbi of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now you can see here how that's the area there where that door is that I showed you before. Right there, that's the door that goes out to the area. Right there, this goes out into this area where they were dancing and doing all of that crazy bhangra and wild tantric yoga. This is just a few hours later when they have this Divan service. And again, you can see this is exactly the same area. So essentially, they're dancing and carrying on in the Darbar of the city Guru Granth Sahib Ji. That's what I'm trying to show you here. And this is supported and promoted by SikhNet. You can see actual there, Gurmukh Singh from SikhNet. And these people are twisting Sikhi and doing these un-Sikh-like practices. You can see here again how they open the garage door when they want to have the Gurdwara. And like I said, they lock Guru Sahib Ji up in here and then carry on outside in this area doing all of this crazy dancing. You can see here how they take their dastars off and they just do all of this crazy stuff. Now this is some of the tantric yoga they do in that same area there. Shows you. See their gongs they play there. They do all of this crazy tantric yoga, which is leading them to complete debauchery. And the SikhNet people have this agenda which they don't publicize on their SikhNet website. But this is the hidden agenda that's involved in their tantric yoga. Again, you can see here that same area, that same space. And Guru Sahib Ji is over there to the left. They lock Guru Sahib Ji up in this room while they're doing all of this stuff there. In the same area where they have the their Gurdwaras there. All this tantric yoga is just leading them into complete debauchery. Now, I want to point this out here. You can see for sure this is one of their evening programs here. And you can see here the light on back there in the background of the room where they're keeping Guru Sahib Ji. And you can see the light on there, back there. So you definitely know they're having a kompot the entire time that this is all going on outside here in the same area where they have their Gurdwaras. All of this crazy stuff is going on out here, the tantric yoga and such. Now you can see again here how they're having a Gurdwara service here. Guru Sahib Ji here. Now they brought Guru Sahib Ji out here onto this platform in exactly the same area where they were dancing and carrying on and doing their tantric yogas. You can see that door there again. So you can see here it again, exactly where I'm talking about. This is the same area. And again, they're essentially dancing in the Darbar of the city Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now let's see what Guru Sahib Ji says about all of this crazy dancing. Guru Sahib Ji says, channel your dancing mind in devotional worship, and through the word of the Guru's Shabad, merge your mind with the Supreme Mind. Let your true and perfect tune be the subjugation of your love of Maya, and let yourself dance to the Shabad. People shout out loud and move their bodies, but if they are emotionally attached to Maya, then the messenger of death shall hunt them down. The love of Maya makes this mind dance, and the deceit within makes people suffer in pain. When the Lord inspires one to become Gurmukh and perform devotional worship, then this body and mind are attuned to his love with intuitive ease. The word of this Bani vibrates and the word of his Shabad resounds. For the Gurmukh, whose devotional worship is accepted, one may beat upon and play all sorts of instruments, but no one will listen and no one will enshrine it in the mind. For the sake of Maya, they set the stage and dance, but they are in love with duality and they obtain only sorrow. So again, I attended these tantric yogas for 30 years or so when I was in 3HO, and I'm well aware of these anti-Gurmukh practices that they do down there. And I encourage Sikhs not to donate to SikhNet, because they'll just continue to do these un-Sikh-like practices and continue to do them if you continue to donate to them. This is the only way to really stop this, I think, is to stop donating to them. You can see people there with their dastars off, and they're just dancing like wild animals and craziness after this, doing this tantric yoga. Whistling, it's just awful. Completely anti-Gurmukh, completely against the Sikh Maryada. I've seen other consequences of this tantric yoga. Just recently, there was a long-time Yogi Bhajan follower in Europe who's a lead trainer for this Kundalini tantric yoga, and he fully admitted that he was having an affair with one of the ashram members' wife there, and there are other allegations that he was sexually abusing his yoga students and carrying on with them and having affairs too. There are other letters that were written by his yoga students. And this is, I believe, a direct consequence of this tantric yoga that Dr. Shalochan Singh had talked about after he spent months with Yogi Bhajan, and he observed how these people would just fall into complete debauchery as a result of their doing this tantric yoga. Yogi Bhajan himself was a sexual abuser, and you can visit my website, you can read about the many abuses and allegations of rape and other really just horrendous crimes that Yogi Bhajan was accused of. And he was the one who taught this tantric yoga. He made it up. And so his followers are continuing to follow this. They are completely spellbound by his tantric yoga. Now, there was a reason why the Sikh gurus did not teach this tantric yoga, and you can see the reason for it. It just leaves people into complete debauchery. If the Sikh gurus had wanted this tantric yoga to be part of the Nitnam, they would have taught it, but they didn't. And Yogi Bhajan made this up in order to promote his tantric yoga and to make money. Let there be no doubt about it. This tantric yoga, this Kundalini yoga, all make money for 3HO and these 3HO people. And that's why they teach it. Now, the really sad part is that SikhNet and these 3HO people, they promote this dancing, and there's even been videos where the 3HO people are dancing to Gurbani as well. And I want to show you a video that I made here which shows some 3HO people dancing around for Gurbani, and how SikhNet in some of their videos promote this type of anti-Gurmukh practice.
Oftentimes, I hear topics about about dancing and how dancing is something that is against the Sikh lifestyle, against the Sikh way of life. And I've thought about this often, and I've gone through other processes on my own looking at this, and
the universe is dancing. Atoms are dancing. Molecules are dancing. The cells in your body are dancing. The energy is dancing. Everything is dancing. Everything is dancing to the Shabad. The whole universe is moving and dancing. Dancing. Dancing is life. This isn't about dancing. This is about somebody's judgment. Does this mean that as you go up and you become 9, 10 on the holy meter, that means you should always sit absolutely seriously and never move around? Because the more still you sit, the holier you are. You think it's disrespectful to move your body? Look, this is about somebody's judgment about energy in the second chakra. That when you're dancing, there's the juice, there's the flow, there's the energy is moving, right? And in that, there's an ecstasy. If you want to express that energy through your second chakra, and you know you want to bump and grind and everything, that's how that energy is coming out. But when you act afraid of it, and you say, that's wrong, that's bad, that's lust, this dancing is wrong, therefore, then it becomes all dancing is wrong. Where do you draw the line between good dancing and bad dancing? Between right dancing and wrong dancing? Right? Then you have to say, well, we'll just say all dancing is bad. That's okay. You can say whatever you want. God is still dancing. That's the nature of God. To be moving, to be dancing, to be in a rhythm, to be in a beat. It's the nature of life. The first Shabad that a child hears is the mother's heartbeat. The beat of the heart, the flow of the blood in the mother. And that primal rhythm is embedded in the consciousness and being of the child.
This is Gurmukh
music and beat and
one of the
dancing,
directors
all
over
these
there at
things are
SikhNet.
just totally natural part of life. It's just that somebody has made some judgment. This is right, this is wrong, this is holy, this is not holy. Understand, sexual energy is sexual energy. The question is not, you should do it or shouldn't do it. The question is, what are you doing? Are you doing it consciously? Are you understanding what's happening? Are you experiencing it with joy? Are you creating some pain through doing it? Are you manipulating somebody if you're doing it? All of this is about intent and about
So this was a SikhNet video, and this was Gurmukh thing over there. He's the founder of SikhNet. Just so you understand who these people are.
Dancing is
In
something
my mind, they're promoting this dancing and
or even
this dancing
one
to
of
the
the
body.
things that came up recently.
And here they are carrying on after their tantric yoga with this shameful dancing in the Darbar of the city of Granth. The Guru Sahib be locked up in that room, and here they are dancing like wild animals outside after their tantric yoga. I think this is evidence that this yogi bhajan tantric yoga has just created complete deprivation of their soul and physical body. I encourage all Sikhs to stay away from these people. I think this is really the only way, just to stay away from them, to not donate to their causes. They're completely spellbound by this yogi bhajan tantric yoga. Thank you for your time. I hope you'll have a chance to watch some of my other videos and read Dr. Wilkinson's book, Sikhism and Tantric Yoga. I'll put a link to it there. Why is it that I call it Sahib? Why is it that you